another video today. Now, I'm gonna start this video off by saying this. You're probably your best bet for self-defense against an unknown assailant or even someone who you may know is using some kind of a firearm, right? That's usually what happens. And I think in the last couple months, there's been like 13 women that were able to fend off assailants, notably their exes, ex-boyfriends, ex-husbands, partners, whatever. 13 women were able to use firearms against attackers. Okay, so I'm gonna start off with that. So gun is probably one of your safer options when it comes to self-defense, right? You just have to know your state's laws, right? You need to know your state's laws, you know, and know, okay, what laws do I need to recognize? You don't just go out, buy a gun, and then just have no idea what the laws are. You need to know exactly what the laws are when it comes to self-defense. You don't want to be in New York or New Jersey. They have very, 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 very strict gun laws, right? As opposed to somewhere more rural like Texas or you're in the Midwest. So when it comes to, you know, self-defense, obviously gun is your number one thing. So you say, okay, well then just end the video. There's no need to talk about anything else. Well, not everybody owns guns, okay? Not everybody owns guns. So in the event that you don't own a gun or don't have a gun, not every American has a gun, okay? Some people have small children. One of the top ways of people dying were children, accidental discharges. Children. So not everybody owns firearms, right? And it depends on where you live, right? If you live in Chicago, somewhere more dangerous where there's drive-bys and shootings all the time, you got to look at your laws, right? Look at your laws. Some states are open carry, right? So you just got to make sure that you know all the laws, you know the rules of your town. Certain places you're not allowed to carry guns, right? But you might be able to carry a knife. Now, this is just an over-exaggeration of a knife, obviously. I live in more, not rural environment, but yes, compared to some places I've lived in the past, definitely more rural than other places. Now, I heard a story the other day, guy, him and his wife flew down to Costa Rica for a vacation. They were having a good time until they noticed that they were being stalked by some guy who just kept following them. They tried to lose them, tried to do the whole counter surveillance, tried to lose them. The guy kept following them. So he went to the nearest market and he bought himself a machete. That guy disappeared fairly quickly. Now in Costa Rica, you can't own guns, but you can have a machete or a knife. So some places it's actually easier to have a knife. Now, criminals will commit crimes no matter what. You see in certain places like Dublin and the UK, they have a lot more knife situations. You know why? Because they are not allowed to carry guns. So criminals will find ways to hurt people. Okay, so all I'm saying is defend yourself with whatever means is necessary. Okay, don't depend upon one thing. You're so dependent upon one thing to protect yourself. Because once you're in an environment where you're not allowed to use that said thing, well then, do you know anything else? Do you know any other forms of martial arts or self-defense, right, to protect yourself against someone? Do you know how to throw? You know how to throw a punch? If you do, then good, right? There's other forms of self-defense. Some people do Jiu-jitsu. I don't really recommend that. When it comes to like street fights, you don't want to be rolling around on the ground with somebody. You'll get curb stomped. That's the thing that the jockos and all the people who are like just hunt, they just go all in on Jiu-jitsu, saying Jiu-jitsu is perfect. Basically is what they're saying. They don't practice any other form of martial arts, but they will practice Jiu-jitsu. They'll get their 10th planet black belt in Jiu-jitsu, some of these guys, right? They'll never train really in anything else. I don't recommend that, okay? I recommend learning different skills, right? Learning different martial techniques. I recommend if you're going to do Jiu-jitsu, then learn some boxing, right? And if you're going to learn boxing, maybe some form of kickboxing, maybe on top of that or on the side. Learn how to throw a kick, basically. You should be able to use your entire body as a weapon, okay? So if you only know how to do one thing, right? You don't know how to grapple, ground pound, good on you. That may help you in a situation that you're on the ground. Every fight starts standing up. So in a situation where you are in you're standing up, right? You want to make sure that you are train well enough, I want you to be able to see my feet just to a certain degree, right? Know exactly how to set yourself up to defend yourself, right? Just the fact that you look like you know what you're doing is going to put you leagues ahead of the guy who's going to do this. Or you see those guys, you see the NBA players where they're like this. Or you see the baseball players, they're like, they look weird and they don't know how to fight. You're going to be the first person knocked out. Knowing exactly how to place your feet, your arms, not chicken wing, you're ready and you're set for, for strikes, right? Okay? Those are really, really important things to know, how to defend yourself. Don't just know one form of martial arts and think you're good. Know 2, maybe 3, at least 2. At least 2 forms of martial arts. Know how to be able to run away, obviously, from the situation. That's what you want to do first. But in a situation where you're cornered by somebody, well, you may have to put those dukes up, right, and fight somebody. Now, here's another thing I've told people before in past videos, is know how to obviously throw that punch, right, but also know how to switch at the same time. Because doing this whole thing, you see boxers and people going rounds, after a period of time, their hands start to drop, right? Because they only know how to fight one way. Some people only know how to fight one way, right? But being able to keep your guard up, right, to where you can throw exact same jab with exact same power as the jab on the other side, okay? So it's very, very important that you know exactly how to have your feet set, not like this, or like this, like this. Just kind of give yourself a little bit of room, because you may actually have to throw some kind of a kick. Now, that was a line kick, but in that situation, you need to know how to throw a kick, okay? Throw a kick, okay? So it's simple. You don't need to know all. Some people say, I have to master this skill. No, you don't need to. You need to know the basic parts of certain martial arts forms to defend yourself, okay? So knowing how to throw a jab and a cross is important, right? Also, with the knife, once again, these are just different techniques to know with the knife, right? With the knife, you want to make sure that you're able to strike, right? Able to carve up, right? You want to be able to know how to do your moves, okay? That's just simple moves, right? That's just simple. It doesn't take an expert to know how to do this stuff, okay? So, same thing with your stick, right? Is know how to strike with said stick, right? So you're going to go across and know how to be able to move different directions, okay? I don't like hitting my bag with the sticks because I don't want to tear up the back, but I can be able to move. And by the way, here's another thing. You guys don't know, okay? So notice this. So some people, they're static. They train static, which means they're doing this. They're just doing the same, just rudimentary, same moves. No, your opponent's going to be moving. So if I'm striking, just be prepared to miss, right? As you're warding off an attacker. Not every strike's going to move. Same thing with a punch, okay? So when I'm throwing that punch, after I know how to throw a simple punch, right? I can throw a simple punch. Okay, now work on moving out the way. That's the next step. And that's pretty much, I wouldn't say that's all you need to know, but that's the main thing you need to know, right? Is to be able to move out the way, right? Move out the way, right? And by the way, I made a mistake there. The bag needs to be going straight. If I'm punching straight, that means those strikes are good, okay? So, once again, when I'm throwing that strike, I might need to move out the way, right? There's different forms, variations. Like some people do this whole thing. Recommendation, hand here, fist here, okay? So I'm moving out the way because he's throwing a punch at me, right? He might be throwing another punch at me, right? Try again, okay? Right? And then knowing how to move, learn how to block if necessary, because you may not have a lot of time to move, right? He's throwing some kind of strike at you, fighting off punches. I don't know if that's the best way to block, because you can break fingers, but that's usually for boxing. They wear gloves. In a real self-defense situation, you know, is if I have to put my hands up, at least I'll still want to be getting out the way, right? Getting out the way of them striking, right? And then after, well, here's another thing. When I have my hands up, right? Something that's hard for me too as well. When I have my hands up, right, and I'm going to throw some kind of a punch, always remember to put your body into it. They say put your back into it, like the song. Put your body into it, right? So, right? And here's another thing. Hard for me. One of the hardest punches to get used to is a hook. Because most people think they know how to do a hook. They're like this. Yeah, I know how to hook, right? That's easy. But see, right there, you're telegraphing. Okay? So once again, get into your position to mask that hook, right? See, watch this. Right? Even if it's less power, you're still protecting yourself in a situation than just doing this. So if I'm doing this, there's an opportunity for me to get knocked out. So once again, you know, if I'm throwing that, oh, all right. You see that? See once again? And once again, let me pull the camera back up a little bit. You saw me just get hit in the face. Because that's how it is. If you go to a boxing ring, right, for the first time, you go to a dojo for the first time, you're going to get hit. You're going to get hit in the face. You're going to get hit in the face. It's going to happen. You're going to get hit in the nose. You're going to bleed. Life ain't perfect. So the thoughts of, okay, I'm just going to stand here at this bag all day and hit the bag. Is that realistic? No. You need to be working on things that move, right? Things that move. Things that move, right? Things that move, right? Things that move, right? Things that move, okay? Oh, it's broken off, but it's not broken. All I did is just send it off. Got a little too excited. But as you guys can see, life's not perfect. There's no such thing as the right, 100% the right way to do something, right? There's always another way. Same thing when it comes to bow staff. If I'm using my bow staff, right, and I'm thinking I'm going to be able to just stand here all day and do this, you get used to doing the same thing, pattern over and over again. Watch this. Right? Oh, see? Right? Using both sides. Oh, see that? That's how life is. Okay? You're gonna get hit. You're gonna get knocked down. I hit myself because nothing is perfect. Okay? Nothing's as it seems. A little out of breath. Been going. But that's how actual martial arts is. Okay? Train realistically. I'm serious when I tell you this. Train realistically. Okay? So, if I'm using a knife, I'm training with my knife. Train realistically. I was telling you guys in another video, the thing that Filipino martial arts gets wrong, once again, take the good and spit out the bad, is angle 1 is good. But then angle 2 is this. Angle 3, right? Angle 4, angle 5, angle 6, angle 7, angle 8, angle 9, angle 10, angle 11, and angle 12. Once again, angle 11 and angle 12. And then you're going to put footwork, obviously, into it. But what they get wrong is angle 2 is wrong, in my opinion, martial arts, in that, okay? The reason why I say that is because you're doing angle 1, right? Now you're coming right here. Watch, look. I'm open, right, to do angle 2. I have to open myself up for a long time, okay? So angle 1 should be here, and then you come back. Carve. That blade should be in front of you at all times, right? At all times. The blade, it should be between me and my target at all times. But if I'm doing this, and then I'm going here, I'm open until that blade is back in position. They get angle 3 right. But once again, angle 3, after angle 3, you should come back, right? Because it doesn't matter about, oh, I did this many angles in a fight. In a real fight, I'm trying to keep that blade on target. The only thing they should be seeing this entire time is my blade, okay? Blade, 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 right? That's how it should be. Train realistically, guys. Longer video was very, very important. I know this is a whole lot of stuff on here, but this is what I train with every single day. I train my kids, not on knives, but I'm training them on boxing and some basic stick. Because if you can strike with a stick, with a knife, you can strike with a stick. You can strike with a stick, you can strike with a knife. Okay? So learning how to paint your target. Broken strikes isn't really necessary. Well, maybe it is, right? Come like this. Once again, you have to kind of come around when all I have to do is just turn it. It's quicker to turn it and then come back. 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 See? Keep that blade in between myself and my opponent. Once again, always train safely. You have knives and stuff, don't keep them in the house. Keep them, not in the house, but keep them somewhere safe. In a safe or somewhere where you know exactly that kids, small children, can't get to them, right? Right? So these are all basic Kali strikes. Those are the basic 12 strikes in Kali. So some people say, you don't even know anything about Filipino martial arts. You don't know nothing. I do. I know some stuff to know that there's some things that are good about it, and there's some things that are bad about it. Right? Train, take the good parts from every form of martial arts you can think of, train in those areas and make yourself proficient in those areas. You'll be better for it. So that's all I got for you guys today. Hopefully I'll see you guys. Please like and subscribe. Helps me out.